The British government is planning traffic jams for thousands of trucks in the romantic south of England. Although the transition phase after Brexit will end soon, trading is not yet regulated. The transition phase between Great Britain and the EU after Brexit ends on January 1st, 2021. The trade is still not regulated, and this could lead to major problems in southern England. In the shadow of the excitement about stricter corona regulations and new state aid, Brexit is also pushing back on the British agenda. 100 days before the end of the transition period on December 31st, the Tory Minister Michael Gove shocked the country last Wednesday with a horror scenario. Because importers and exporters are completely focused on corona, they have ignored the Brexit bureaucracy that will apply from January 1st. As a result, queues of 7,000 trucks could form in front of the English Channel ports within a few days, and just-in-time trade with the continent would be delayed by 48 hours, a disaster especially for fresh fruit and vegetables, which in winter mainly come from the EU. According to a paper from the government of Prime Minister Boris Johnson, Gove's office expects that around half, possibly even up to 70% of truckers in transit will not have the correct papers ready or will pass the digital customs controls. The county of Kent, the famous Garden of England, would soon become a waiting place for thousands of 40-ton trucks because it is the main canal port of Dover and Folkestone in the gateway to the Eurotunnel. The pandemic, Gove informed the professional associations concerned, could reduce the overall trading volume. At the same time, however, one must expect staff shortages due to illnesses at border guards and customs. The minister expressly points out that the bureaucracy has nothing to do with the outcome of the Brexit negotiations. Traders will in any case have to face additional controls. This applies both to the event that Brussels and London reach an agreement for the scenario of a chaotic exit, a case that Brexit figurehead Gove is supposed to organize. The professional association reacted disgruntled to the new regulations. The government apparently wanted to shift responsibility for the impending border chaos onto them in advance, according to the Road Haulage Association, RHA. "We have repeatedly warned the government of problems at the ports," said RHA chief Richard Burnett indignantly. "The necessary commitment is missing, not least in the recruitment of around 50,000 customs officers, which Gove says will be necessary in the future." Gove's Labour counterpart Rachel Reeves sneered that the government wanted to invest in the country's infrastructure. "I didn't realize that this meant concreting the Garden of England." The assertion of 10 Downing Street that a new IT system called Smart Freight will be introduced arouses little trust among practitioners. The responsible county police could then use a Kent access permit to allow all these truckers who digitally prove to be smart to enter the lovely southeast. However, the government is notoriously prone to breakdowns in IT matters. Meanwhile, the House of Commons Brexit Committee looked at the stage of negotiations on the future of trade between the world's largest single market and the world's 6th largest economy. The talks are overshadowed by the Internal Market Act, which partially nullifies the EU exit treaty. This breach of international law, according to Northern Ireland Minister Brendan Lewis, will be approved by the House of Commons this week, even against resistance from the opposition and veteran Tories. Then there is a threat of a long trench war in the House of Lords. Prime Minister Johnson last week accused the EU of not negotiating properly. Catherine Barnard from the University of Cambridge believes that London has to accept a similar accusation. "The law did not help our position," she said. On the other hand, trade expert Shankar Singham says the British government had to convince the EU that it was dealing with an independent country that has now been understood. Well, I won't comment on that this time. But if you now want to know more about European politics, YouTube has chosen another of my videos right here for you in the end screen, right next to your chance to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in my next video. Click and enjoy. Viel Spaß and baut the Sache.